What's good? It's Wood. I was not expecting this. It looks like, according to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, that Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue, the monster, has been agreed to for May, sometime in May, in Japan. I thought that even if these two guys were to eventually fight, Stephen Fulton, the unified champion at 122, he holds the WBC and WBO titles. Naoya Inoue, a former 112 title holder, 115 title holder, and former undisputed champion at 118 bantamweight. He had just beaten Paul Butler to become undisputed at bantamweight, and now is moving up to 122. I thought that if these two guys were to fight, that it would be down the line, not in their very next fight. I mean, just a month and some change ago, it was being reported that the fight that PBC, Stephen Fulton's promoter, was looking to make was going to be a rematch between Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa. That was one of Stephen Fulton's, that was a super close fight. Stephen Fulton edged a majority decision in November of 2021. That's how he won the WBC belt. He had come into that fight with the WBO belt, but it looked like they were going to run that one back, which was still going to be a good fight. I mean, it was something that I was, getting excited about, but not nearly as much as the idea of Naoya Inoue's debut at 122 taking place against Cool Boy Stephen Fulton. Look, if you were to ask me to give a percentage on the likelihood that fight was going to be next for both guys, if you were to ask me that, like a month ago, I would have put it at, and this, I'm saying before that they announced that they were looking to do Fulton versus Figueroa 2, I would have put it at maybe 25%. Because of the promotional hurdles. I mean, Stephen Fulton is with PBC. Naoya Inoue has been fighting on ESPN with Top Rank over his past several fights. So there were just too many hurdles I thought that they were going to have to climb for this fight to be next. But look, hats off to all parties involved if this in fact does get scheduled for May of this year. Oh man, Naoya Inoue has been one of the biggest sensations in boxing over the past 8 or so years. In the lower divisions, he's been taking it by storm. His most notable wins are against Nonito Donaire, probably Emmanuel Rodriguez. He stopped Jason Maloney, and he's one of these guys with a very high, super high KO percentage, especially given the weight class. Out of his 24 wins, 21 have come via knockout. Stephen Fulton's best wins have come against Brandon Figueroa. That was the one that was razor thin. And then Angelo Leo, I would say, and then probably Daniel Roman, although Daniel Roman retired right after that unanimous decision loss to Stephen Fulton. And then Stephen Fulton's another very good win would be against Isaac Avalar. That's kind of late though. That's before he started losing repeatedly. But man, just the idea of the unified champion at 122 defending against Naoya Inoue coming up, this is what boxing dreams are made of. This is one of the best fights on the boxing calendar if it in fact gets made. And look, I don't even know where odds makers would place the betting lines. Who would you make the favorite here? Would you make the sensational Naoya Inoue, given his reputation and what he's done in the lower divisions, to be the favorite over undefeated champion Stephen Fulton? I guess I would make Naoya Inoue the favorite. Look, I can't wait to do a deep dive into, further analyze, do a prediction video, do an early thoughts video once the fight gets made. Yeah, but I'm just hoping at this point that it gets made. And okay, what am I thinking about here? Is Naoya Inoue's power going to carry to 122? Because not only does he have super fast hand speed, but his punch selection is creative, and he just has obliterating knockout power. Stephen Fulton has good power, but only 8 of his 21 wins have come via knockout. But he is such a gamer where, Brandon Figueroa is one of these guys that'll overwhelm you with volume, with his length. He's very tall and long given the division. And by the way, it looks like they're going to make, instead of Fulton versus Figueroa 2, it looks like they're now pivoting and making a featherweight fight. Because remember, Fulton versus Figueroa 2 was going to take place at 126, whereas the first one took place at 122. It looks like Mark Magsayo, the guy who beat and injured Gary Russell Jr. to to capture the WBC Featherweight belt and then lost it to Ray Vargas. It looks like Mark Magsayo is going to be fighting Brandon Figueroa at Featherweight. So that's going to be one to watch. Oh, man, this is really heating up. But Stephen Fulton is so game where it seems like whatever you bring to his doorstep, he's going to meet you with the same intensity, with an intelligent approach to how to handle your style and to basically, I mean, at least every step of the way up to this point, come out on top. So another question that I have about Naoya Inoue at 122, is he going to be able to absorb the punches coming from the 122-pounders in the way that he was able to, withstand the punches coming from, say, Nonito Donaire in their first of 2 fights, which was my 2019 fight of the year, Naoya Inoue versus Nonito Donaire. It ended up resulting in a unanimous decision win for Naoya Inoue, but this was like a back and forth fight. Nonito Donaire was, seen to be a legendary but old legend by that time, and Donaire brought his A game, ended up breaking Naoya Inoue's orbital bone in that fight. And then in the rematch, more than 2 years later, Naoya Inoue just destroyed Nonito Donaire in the second round. Like, Naoya Inoue versus Donaire 2, in terms of how it just played out, was a little bit like Arthur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr., where it just has you saying, whoa, well, damn. So, yeah, I'm going to take a deeper look at Fulton versus Inoue and what to expect here. But, yeah, those are some questions I have on the Inoue side. Is his punching power going to carry up a division? And is his punch absorption going to be able to carry up where he could withstand punishment coming from 122-pounders? I would lean on the idea of yes to at least the punching power part of that question. We'll see about his resilience at 122, but I stand to believe that he is probably going to be the betting favorite over Cool Boy Stephen Fulton. Oh man, look, for every Spence versus Crawford we don't get, and we'll see about Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia, it's fights like these that really keep the fan intrigue in the sport going. Like, they just made, I think, a fight date official. March 25th is going to be the fight date for Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. That's another one of my favorite fights on the calendar right now. But, yeah, let me know what your early thoughts are on Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue at 122. It looks like the fight's going to take place in May in Japan. And Naoya Inoue has mostly been fighting like on Tuesdays, which if you're stateside in the United States, I'm on the West Coast in the US, I've been setting my alarm clock for like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to catch these Naoya Inoue fights. I wonder if they're going to schedule it similarly with Fulton versus Inoue. But yeah, let me know what your early thoughts are on this one. Look, I just hope that it becomes official. If they do make it official, I'm going to follow up with another video giving some of my early thoughts on this one. But yeah, let me know what yours are in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are into the fight talk. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.